have Monday afternoon, 3-hour seminar, sort of usual academic seminar format where they read something or and write and present, and we talk about the writings. And then Tuesday evening we'd have the 2-hour required, call it a lab, but the dance component or the movement component really.
I was fully involved for the entire semester, and he was fully involved. So it wasn't like I teach what I know and he teaches what he knows. We actually participated everything together. And for the student part, I think it was interesting to see a historian and dancer working together.
A lot of people talk about interdisciplinarity. I think Bill Johnston and Eiko practice it at a level that very few other courses do on our campus. Why? Is because you have 2 faculty members from 2 very different disciplines co-teaching. It is not art in the service of history or vice versa. They are creating the syllabus together. They're creating the curriculum together. We're telling students that these are both means of knowing and understanding this material that are of equal weight.
I think also the interdisciplinary approach makes lots of discoveries that is not prescripted. I think it allows students to be very creative. And I think creativity often brings more motivation.
You don't usually get to interact with the class outside the discussion table, if you're lucky enough to even have a discussion in terms of like getting to know people. And this you get to see how everyone else moves, and a lot of the stuff is interactive.
Don't really hit, but be playful. So include that. And really be play with more distance, coming in and teasing. And you need to kind of protect yourself, but coming in. Really. And really kind of play. By default, we had many different students. I wasn't teaching dancers. I wasn't teaching art majors. I was teaching a different level of appreciation. Some people are very afraid to take their shoes off. So the beginning was really learning to be able to lie down on the floor, to be able to close your eyes, to feel comfortable, and to make the community, to make the tribe. And then later on, I introduced much more about being passive and being active. And being a victim is a passive state. But being an artist who talk about, who write about, who describes their experience as a victim is a very active state. So the movement studies really go between the passive state to the active state. Slowly open your eyes, and as you open your eyes, slowly bring your hands up. Surrender. Find a way how to keep the moment, how to keep the time, how to feel your body, how to remember, think what it is to surrender.
When you start to think about, the atomic bomb, and you have to think about what was the atomic bomb for the people in the cities that were bombed. First of all, there's a kind of not only unthinkable but unfathomable aspect. If you were walking at 8:14 or whatever it was on Aoi Bridge in Hiroshima, there would have been a flash, and in that flash, this body becomes molecules. It's above all a physical experience. And by doing the dance component in that, we make them not just think about things, but feel things. And by doing that, it opens up a window that they can start to empathize with the experience that the people who experienced the atomic bomb had.
It makes you more aware of the shared human form that everybody has, and in that manner it recontextualizes the academic discourse surrounding the atomic bomb or any historical event for that matter, by removing the context from solely language to this more deeper plane of human existence.
So I found sort of a parallel between the interpersonal violence and like the international violence almost, where the scale sort of pulls back and you see how small people are compared to these events that they're experiencing. To me, these were some of the most affecting panels in the book because they really drew attention to the fact that, the truth of what violence does to people. It makes them small.
So we dealt with the experience of what happened and then kind of went backwards and say, how did it get to that point? In some way, this class covers like more ground than any other in terms of a detailed perspective of one side of what happened to these people, and then we turn around and see detailed perspective of the people who were building the bomb. And then just, I think that's one of the most powerful things about this class is seeing the different experiences.
Final project, we asked them to do much beyond what entails as grades. And I told them, this will be something that they'll be talking about the rest of their life, And the range was most impressive. Some person created comic strips, comic book, using the most devastating story. Many people did a more physicalized performance element, which was very, very moving. Many people did a research paper, which was, more about scientific research about radiations, about, hydrogen bomb. I think the combination, balance between performative work and research work was brilliant. I mean, we had about half of people, more than half of people were doing some kind of combination. They had to do the research, but they also had presented it very creatively. I don't really think it's how the student develops. It really is how student discovers. And I think that's much more important to me. I think other people can help them develop. My job is almost like evolving, like finding our common place, finding their own body, finding other people's body from that relationship. So I want to find a way how students can explore and discover.